Welcome to video number 2. This video is all about why I'm starting a YouTube channel at the age of 50. So first of all, with this YouTube video, the title's creating a little bit more intrigue, okay? So it tells you about the truth of me starting a YouTube channel at 50. Well, some of that's slightly twisted because I've had a YouTube for many years, a YouTube channel, but I've not really put a lot into it. I've done a few videos, a few tutorial videos to help my business along, where people have said, can you help me with this? I've thought to myself, you know what, I'll create a YouTube video to help you do that. So views hasn't been a huge thing. I did have one that blew up slightly compared to my other videos. But yeah, it isn't a brand new YouTube account at 50. And plus, I'm not 50. I'm actually 49. I'm 50 next week. So very close. But this video is more to do with why I'm doing it, you know. Why somebody with this grey beard and this grey hair is trying to get on that bandwagon. So some may say, oh, this is a middle-age crisis. It's a bit of FOMO, fear of missing out. And it's not. It's more of a case of I'm looking for freedom. I'm looking to be able to actually stretch my wings and move into a different sort of life. A life which can be more fulfilling, allow us to do more of the things we want to do. Just as a marker, I haven't flown out of this country since 2006. So it's coming up to 20 years since I actually got on a plane and actually went somewhere. And next year, next week, we're getting on a plane for the first time in 18 years. But it's not out of this country. We're literally getting on a plane and flying somewhere within this country. But next year we will fly further afield. That's one of the main things we're trying to do and trying to push with our new sort of adventures as such. So what do I do? Well, I'm a designer. I have been a designer since the mid to late 90s. My first design job was in exhibitions. I used to design exhibition trailers and also exhibition spaces. And it was a great job. I used to do the design work. I used to do the graphics work as well. So we used to cut graphics out and create vinyl graphics to go on these vehicles and stands. And it was a great job. It was a good introduction into design. And I met one of my mentors there, who was a traditional sign writer, and he was like one of the last guys. I mean, he's still around. I say was, he's still around. He's one of the last guys who can still basically gild on glass. So he can gild gold onto glass, so gold leaf. So some of these old pubs where they've got the nice ornate gold lettering on the windows. That's the sort of thing he did, and he did lots of work with big brands who insisted that he was the only person that did the sign writing for them. And he taught me all about typography and things like simple things like an O should only have 4 points. You know, if you're in design and you can see the points of a letter, have a look to see how many points there are on letters nowadays. Now, there are lots of different fonts, lots of different typefaces. We're not going to go into that. This is more about why I'm starting a YouTube channel, or why I'm renewing this YouTube channel and trying to push it forward. So that was my start of my career. And so further on down the line, I suffered a few redundancies. And in between those redundancies, I decided that, you know what, I'm going to start my own business. So I started my first business back in 2002, and that lasted for around 4 years. And then I went into IT and worked as a creative for an IT company, doing all their marketing, working with their websites, and then I did a few more jobs in that realm. Went back to graphic design, started putting vinyl on vans and things like that, until my last redundancy. I decided, you know what, I'm going to start my own business, and I started Sawbrook. Now, Sawbrook is it's a small body of water towards the northwest side of my town, and I thought, you know, what am I going to call my business? And I looked online, and there was lots of things like there's some companies have named themselves after Greek gods. Some companies have named themselves after their towns. Some companies have named themselves after bodies of water. And I didn't realise, you know, things like the brand Nokia, that's actually named after a river or a body of water. I didn't realise that. So I was looking around thinking, right, what's got some really good meaning? And so I created Sawbrook. And it just reminded me of my childhood, because where I used to go over the fields on my bike, there was always this little brook, and I never knew what it was called until I looked it up later on, and it's called Sawbrook. So I can always remember going through the ford that's over the top, crosses over Sawbrook, and legs in the air, making sure my feet don't get wet, and just gliding through there on my bike. So yeah, those are the sorts of memories I have, and also taking the dog for a walk along the brook, the dog running into the water, that sort of thing was very memorable. So yeah, I've had various career paths, and life has not, you know, life has been good, but life has been difficult. It's it's been struggling. We've struggled quite a lot at times, as with most families in this day and age. And we really want to change that. I've also dabbled in gaming as well. So ever since I was a child, I've always had some sort of gaming console or computer gaming. I've been into that. So it's been more of a case of trying to find those different areas that I could possibly use the things I love doing, to try and get to that point of, you know, if it's something you love doing, it's never a job, is it? If you're earning and it's something you love doing, it's not a job. It's literally, you know, it's what you want to do. I did try live streaming with gaming. I was on Twitch for 2 years. I say 2 years. I had a Twitch account for a long time, very much like this, and then started pushing it at the pandemic. So 2020, I started at my gaming channel, Sheppy Z, and got a good follow. I got about 700, about 700 followers on Twitch. A good handful of subscriptions. So, but it wasn't paying me a lot of money. I think over the 2 years, I probably earned around £700. Not a huge amount, but it was a help. But it was a lot of time and effort to create that amount of income, and I decided that it wasn't really helping, and it was getting in the way of actually me providing and working. So I decided to knock it on the head back in 2022. So it's been a few years since I've done that. I still play games. I play a lot of things like Apex, and I used to play a lot of Call of Duty, but I've sort of stopped playing that now. And I think Apex is the only thing I play, pretty much, apart from, well, I say play, apart from doing a little bit of Duolingo, trying to learn a new language, that sort of thing. So along with this, I've got a few other interests. With this this is a new Osmo Pocket 3 camera. This is going to be my main camera I use for all the things we're going to do. But I've also got the mobile gimbal as well. I'm very much I like my little techie things. I've also got the DJI Mini 3 drone. So those sorts of things have been one of my main interests at the moment. So also family, my partner Sue, and we have 2 kids. I say kids, they're mid to late 20s now. But we also have a grandchild and another grandchild on the way later on this year. So that's something which we want to try and give more time to. Also, another area which I haven't mentioned before is that I've been a volunteer with a local cadet force. So I was a Sea Cadet years ago, back in the 1980s, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. We went away on courses, we did lots of activities, lots of waterborne activities, and really, really enjoyed it, and just felt, you know, this is something when I'm older I want my kids to do. And lo and behold, 15 years ago, my kids decided, you know, let's go and give it a go. And I went along. I say 15 years ago because this month is 15 years since I joined up as an adult volunteer. I'm knocking that on the head this year because I've got to the point now where there's lots of things going on in my life. There's lots of things I want to do with my life. And it's another thing which seems to be getting in the way of activities and things I would like to do with my family at weekends, during the week. And I suppose really it's a little bit of a midlife crisis, thinking, you know what, I need the time, I want to do things, I don't want to miss out. Yeah, I suppose going back on the FOMO thing, there is a little bit there. So yeah, we're sort of rearranging life at the moment. And we recently bought Apple TV. So we bought Apple TV because we thought, you know, we need something to collect our apps together. We've got a really nice TV downstairs, and it's huge, but it's a smart TV, and we've had it for several years, and the apps on the smart TV were starting to get a bit old and tired and really slow. So we thought, you know what, we'll buy an Apple TV, and it's a tiny little box, plugs into your TV, has all the apps on there, and we thought, you know what, we'll change the way we watch TV. So we don't just go to the TV, put on BBC One, ITV, and let the TV, you know, play all evening, as we used to. We used to come in and, 6 o'clock, TV was on and didn't go off until about midnight. So we had a good session of TV watching every night. Now we have Apple TV. We're still watching TV, but we're not really watching your normal run-of-the-mill BBC, ITV, Channel 4. If anything, we're watching more YouTube, or I'm watching more YouTube than anything. And I feel that there's opportunities out there. And we've been watching various travel vloggers. There's a few on there, people like Walk With Me Tim and Two Passports, One Dream. Jumping Places. These are three of the ones we watch quite regularly. There's also a guy on there who's amazing, Paddy Doyle, in Thailand. He does some amazing videos of what it's like to be over in Thailand. So it's really given us that pause for thought at our age to think, right, we need to do something. We can't just sit back and think, you know, things will just come to us. We need to go out there and do it. So that's why ultimately I'm pushing this new YouTube channel. So we're going to have two prongs. So the first one is this channel, Sawbrook Creative, which is where I'll do coaching and tutorials and things that are creative. And then we'll have another channel. We're up in the air at the moment to what we're going to call it, because we were going to call it Free to Roam, which is free, and then two, spelt the number 2, Rome. So really it's more about traveling. And you know, if we go and visit somewhere, or if we go travel somewhere, we'll do a vlog, we'll put a video together and we'll put it up online as a couple. But it so happens that there was another couple that were called Free to Roam, and they were active probably about a few years ago. So we're looking at changing our channel name, probably just to Shep and Sue. It's sort of like literally see what happens with that one, because I'm sure that will be what we're going to call it, Shep and Sue. I need to make sure that we can get a domain name. I did buy the domain name for Free to Roam and several other domain names, so it's a bit of a waste of money, but you know, there you go. These things happen when you're trying to figure out branding and names. So yeah, we're going to start looking at traveling and bringing experience to your front room, because it was just the whole thing with Apple TV. You know, these things are now on your big 65-inch screen of these amazing places. It's all filmed in 4K, and this camera films in 4K. And I just thought to myself, why aren't we doing this? I have the ability. I can do video editing. I've been doing it for a number of years. I can do videography. I can use a camera. I can take pictures. I can do all sorts of things, but I'm not doing it. And these are all enjoyable things I'd love to do as an income and as a way of earning a living. And like I said before, if you love the thing you're doing, it's not a job, is it? It's just life. So currently I'm working a lot on the long form format videos, and I think I will pretty much for the moment, and I'm looking to do one every week. Next week's going to be difficult because we're off on our flight in the UK, and so I'm going to try and get 2 videos sorted this week, so I can then put one live towards the end of the week and schedule the other one to go live the middle of next week, which will mean I've got a few weeks of really, really busy video creation. But I want to try and keep on top of it and get the videos out weekly, because it needs to be consistent and it needs to be constantly in YouTube's face. That, you know, you need to keep, I think I need to kick on that algorithm and just make sure that I'm constantly producing. I can do it. It's just a case of I need to juggle quite a few things in my life to make sure it's done. So it's going to take time, and I have learnt from previous mistakes where I've created videos, found what works, found what doesn't work. I may even do a few remakes of the videos. Never take the old videos down, but make a remake of the one that actually blew up because people were asking for a renewed version. And yeah, we're going to push forward. Watch other videos that are out there to try and get the ideas of what thumbnails work, what titles work, what other things we can do within the description to make the video more searchable, and try and get onto that browse thing, because I've noticed that with the Apple TV and having it there in front of you with a remote control, you browse, you don't really search. If you're on a TV and you're watching YouTube, the worst thing you can do is search for things, because you've got to use a remote control to search. I mean, obviously Apple TV, you can flick it over to your phone and use a keyboard, but more often than not, I'm too lazy and I'll use the back and forth keys to select the letters. I would prefer to have that video that I want literally on that first screen I go to when I go into YouTube. So when you go to your home screen, I'd rather have the videos I want there in front of me, or go to my subscriptions and find those. So yes, browsability of videos is something which is getting bigger. I think it's getting, it's more powerful than, I'm saying that word again, which I said a lot in my last video, and I realise that. Powerful. It's getting to that point where browse is becoming more popular than search, because in the platforms that we use, YouTube now, there are certain ones which we don't search, we browse. Also, I'm not going to take the knockbacks personally. I'm going to use them as growing points. Make sure that we don't get down when things don't go our way. I know a video is going to go up at some point and it will only get 2 views. I've experienced that. You know, it's one of the mistakes that happens. It's not all the time it's a mistake. It's just that a case of a video might just not quite hit the spot. It's fine. It's content. It will go up there. It will stay there. But we're just going to have to stick with it, be consistent, produce weekly, and hope we actually hit the mark. Also, with my videos, I'm so looking forward to people commenting on them and giving me feedback. That's what we need. I always say within my work life and within my volunteer life is that communication is key. You know, when people stop communicating, that's when wars start. So everybody needs to communicate. If there's an issue, if there's a problem, let me know. If there is something that you feel I can improve on, let me know. If there's something that you feel was great on my videos, please, please, please let me know, because it's more, then I can create more of the same and keep on pushing, keep on being consistent. That's the main thing. That's the one word I need to be saying all the time, is consistent, consistent, consistent. I say it within my brand design background, But for some reason, the last video, I said powerful a lot. And I don't know why. It just seemed to be the word of the moment. So what are we going to do on this channel? So this channel that I'm creating at 50 as of next week, I'm going to be helping people or teaching people what to do in regards to using social media, digital marketing, creating WordPress websites as well. I do that. That's my mainstay within my business. Also, we'll be looking at how you can do creative and design things. So everything from brand design, designing a brochure, designing, I don't know, various things for a small business. All the way up to how you can create your own digital agency, or how you can start your own business. I think these things will be really helpful to people, but also we're going to help with, I say we, me, I'm going to help with all the applications I use, which makes life easy. So just an example, password managers. I use a specific password manager, which is really helpful. Email marketing, I use a specific tool, email marketing wise, and that can be really helpful as well for people who want to start their own business and earn from that. Lots of things which are going to be really helpful to people like you, if you're a creative person. I feel there's always a little bit of creativity in everybody. No, and it's normally on levels. There's people who are very creative, and there's people that are creative but can't really activate that creativity, and then there's people that have creativity but don't really want to share it or push it. And I think people are always towards within that scale somewhere. We all have brains. We all want something which is not fantasy, but we feel can be created. So the fun bit at the end, we're looking to, firstly, I'm looking at all the new tech. I love all this new DJI stuff that's coming out. I want to be able to use the latest tech. So hopefully this sort of way of doing things might push that a bit further forward. We're looking at our whole work-life balance in general. So I think this will actually be a positive on that side of things. And have fun and travel around and do activities we haven't been able to do in the past, and get some sort of value from those activities once we've done them. I feel that this sort of way of doing things will help with that. Hopefully also that the things we create on this channel will provide value to you. And if you feel this video has provided value to you, please do me a favor. Go and click on that subscribe button. Click on the bell for notifications. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a like. And it's only going to help us grow and move forward. See you soon.